Hello everyone, I'm White Hydrangea, but you can call me Hydrangea or Hydra, and you're watching my very first video on this channel. I've had this itch for a long while and decided that I can give making Minecraft videos a try, see how I'll do. And here I am, commentating on my playthrough in my forever world. I'm not the best with editing videos, nor am I the best at making Minecraft content, but I hope it still does the job of entertaining my audience. Now, without further ado, let's get into the beginning of a beautiful adventure in my forever world. Enjoy the video. My forever survival world. And create new world. The first thing I saw after loading up the new world was this plains biome with a herd of cows directly in front of me. For some reason, it lagged for the first few minutes I played in the new world, but it got better after that. I gather flowers while exploring because I love flowers, and who doesn't? For some reason, there were these tulips that spawned in this biome, which is really weird because they normally grow in flower forest, unless they change something in the game. Oh well, that's more flowers for me. I wanted to find the perfect place to live in my forever world, and my idea of a perfect place is a flower forest. The flower forest is my favorite biome in the game, and I'm constantly in messed up. In all the various hues and bright colors of the abundant flowers that grow everywhere. I'm very picky about where I want to live, so I spent the next few hours traveling a couple 10,000 blocks in search of the ideal place to start my life in this world. That's some good beef right there, let me tell you. During my search for a place to live, I came across this one horse with the most perfect stats ever. Like 4 blocks for the jump height and 12 blocks for the speed? You can't ask for anything better than that, I'm telling you. After a good few hours of traveling, I finally found the one biome I've been searching for, a flower forest. Traveling through the forest, I saw how enormous the entire area is. I know that the world was generated with large biomes and everything, but even so, it's still really massive for a flower forest, and I couldn't have been happier with it. Like, if we look at the map here, you can see how huge the flower forest is. Like, this is amazing. Near the flower forest, there were also cherry groves that were populated with bees who've been playing way too much Call of Duties with all their silly 360s. It's still quite a marvel to see though. Like, I'm pretty impressed. A little more traveling, I also came across this part of the plains with a decently long shore. The view of the ocean from here is pretty immaculate, so I might think about doing something here in the future someday. Finally, after years of traveling, I found a good place to set up my beds and chests to get started on my starter base. When I think of a starter base, I think of these 3 qualities: a house, a farm, and a mine shaft. So I made a small temporary mine tunnel to gather some coal and cobble, planted some spruce saplings to grow some spruce trees, and chopped down some oak and birch wood to begin working on my starter house. For this starter house, I wanted to go for something like a small triangular cottage with grass for the roof, spruce for the trims, and stripped oak for the walls. In the middle of building my comfy cottage, a pillager barged in and rudely interrupted the building process, so I eliminated him from the equation and went back to building it without worrying about pillagers again. Oh, never mind. There's his twin brother who also barged in and rudely interrupted the building process, so I banished him to the Shadow Realm and continued building with no worries. Yeah, that's a nice looking window. After finishing the main part of the house, I went ahead and installed a basement for storage, like I usually do. A bit of temporary storage at least, until I eventually construct a better storage system. Yeah, this'll be plenty of room to work with. A little bit of time has gone by working on the basement, and I have to say it turned out pretty good. I'm really proud of it. I decided now was a good time to go back to the mines and upgrade from stone to iron and craft myself a full set of iron armor and shield for skeleton hunting. I also gathered some glow sacks. I didn't really care for smelting 1.5 stack of iron in a regular furnace, so I installed a few blast furnaces in the basement, and smelting iron is much faster now. I felt much safer wearing iron armor and was able to take on the skeletons with no issue, and I gathered lots of bones for bone meal around the starter base. I later learned that the twin pillagers from earlier were actually triplets, so this guy also decided to barge in and rudely interrupt the building process, so I threw bone meal into his eyes and smacked him over and over until he perished. Just when I thought the third time's the charm, it wasn't, because their cousin also decided to barge in and once again rudely interrupt the building process, so I laser beamed him out of the mortal plane and finally enjoyed a moment of solitude in my building. I'm not aiming for a heavily modded world, and I want to keep it as close to vanilla as possible, but I've made exceptions for a few mods, such as Nemo's backpack, which adds backpacks to the game. Pretty self-explanatory, as well as falling trees and no mining cooldown, which makes chopping down trees and mining blocks a little swifter. I'll leave links in the description down below. I constructed a little to-do board here where I can write down a list of some things that I need to get done, like make farms, build a villager trading hall, defeat the Ender Dragon, and so on. It's a neat little addition to the area, especially for if I get bored or experience lulls and need to take a break from playing Minecraft for a good bit. I'll have a list to come back to when I need to remember what it is that I was working on. How neat. The next thing I worked on was adding a little wheat farm right next to the cottage to get started on food production. I made the walls out of cobble and andesite to keep mobs out, and I consider myself to be a detail-oriented person, so I would go so far as to replace the blocks that are only shown in the slightest gaps wherever present. Just the teeniest bits of detail present. While waiting for the wheat to mature, I moved on to the mine shaft and constructed a really nice entrance that I'm proud of. I even added a smaller mine shaft entrance for this minecart nearby for decor. I think that turned out very nicely. I got a little impatient waiting for the wheat to mature, so I took the horse and went over to White Plains and gathered enough wheat seeds to finish the farm. This will sustain me for a good bit. To add some of the finishing touches around the area, I smelted up a few stone buttons and scattered them all over for rocks, which looks pretty cute. But what wasn't cute though was this one creeper who snuck right behind me and exploded my back. How wonderful. And that's the end of the video. I want to thank you for sticking around and watching until the end. If you really enjoy this form of slow-paced and relaxing gameplay, then it wouldn't hurt to give this video a like and turn that subscribe button from red to white. It'll help me a lot, even starting out as a small channel. It took some time making this video, but I have plans for more in the future, and I look forward to seeing all the things that I will create in this world. Thanks for sticking around, and I hope you have a good one. Take care.